Hello and welcome to Witness. I'm Raggy Omar. The impact of war is usually measured in the cold statistics of the body count. Thousands dead, hundreds of thousands wounded. But the casualty figures only provide a snapshot. Across the world, more and more combatants are discovering that the psychological scars are equally hard to treat. The war in Chechnya has seen tens of thousands of young Russian conscripts being sent to fight a dirty, dangerous rebel war in the wild mountains of the Caucasus. And even those not injured in the conflicts are finding it hard to adjust back into civilian life. Post-traumatic stress disorder affects thousands of former Russian veterans, although almost nothing is being done to help the afflicted. Filmmaker Nick Sturdy has spent many years living in Russia and covering the Chechen conflict. He followed some ordinary soldiers coming to terms with what's known as Chechen Syndrome.
After years of post-Soviet decline, life is beginning to feel good in provincial Russia, particularly on a summer public holiday. This is Yaroslavl, 200 miles from Moscow, more than 1,000 miles from Chechnya, and the ongoing rebel war for independence. But for some, that's not enough. In their minds, they're still there on the front. Valera Voronov served 6 tours of duty in Chechnya with Russian Interior Ministry troops.
В декабре, быть может, раньше, кто-то вдруг отдал приказ, чтоб в Чечню, а может дальше.
No one knows how many tens of thousands of young men like Valera have been sent to Chechnya since Russian military tried to quash an independence movement in 1994. They've been fighting to control the region ever since. Some 200,000 people have died.
Город Грозный штурмовали.
Valera's unit was sent in after the frontline troops to carry out the now infamous cleanup operations. They raided civilian houses for Chechen combatants. He doesn't like talking about what happened, but says he can't forget the deaths he saw firsthand. In Yaroslavl, the Association of Chechen War Veterans helps people who've been traumatized by the Chechen War find a role back in civilian society. People like Valera. He's found it impossible to settle down since serving in Chechnya. He's been drifting around the country and has decided to settle here because of the Veterans Association. He's hoping they can help him deal with his psychological problems. Valera is being helped by Andrei Palachov, who runs the association. He also fought in Chechnya and now supports veterans suffering from what's called Chechen Syndrome, a form of post-traumatic stress disorder.
Once you've tasted blood in war, you find life difficult without it. I know lots of lads who come back from service in the North Caucasus. They know it's not a good place to be. They know they won't make any money. They say they've missed their family so much over 6 months and will never go again. Then 2 weeks later they go to their commander and request another tour of 6 months. And off they go. A 5th time, a 10th time, a 15th time.
Давай, все старшие, вот здесь становись. Фригонт, здесь становись всех. Да, вот.
Vadim Baranov is also a Chechen veteran. He served with the Russian Special Forces in Chechnya. At first he tried to avoid military service, then he gave himself up. By the time he got back, he found there was very little else for him to do.
Все, погнали. Я где только не работал.
You name it, I did it when I came back. For a time I worked in organized crime. I joined the army as one person and came back someone quite different. I changed completely, particularly after my second trip to Chechnya.
У вас идет разворот. Добив. У нас такого нет.
When there's a fight, some people just run away. We don't do that. If a friend's in trouble, we help them in every way we can.
Palachev's main weapon in controlling the Chechen Syndrome is keeping people busy. It keeps common symptoms such as aggressive behavior and excessive drinking in check. But if there is trouble, they're part of a big family now.
Товарищ генерал, отделение ВПК десанта для строевой построено. Вольно.
Vadim is kept on the straight and narrow by responsibility.
Отделение, на первое, второе, рассчитай.
Первый, второй, первый, второй. Первый, первый, второй, первый, второй. Первый.
He runs the association's Patriotic Youth Training Centre.
Прямо шагом. Марш!
His time in Chechnya has not blunted his patriotic zeal. For Vadim now, what counts is making sure the next generation love their country and have the muscle to defend her interests. For the time being, though, it's up to the pros.
The special forces are real men, the elite, trained by war.
Вот он, нижний. Если правильно вообще блоки делают, то есть вот он, нижний, верхний, удар, боковой, как говорится.
If not us, then
Если
who?
то кто? Дай бог, конечно, начнется война там.
If, God forbid, war breaks out, not necessarily in Chechnya, but anywhere, who will they send? An 18-year-old who doesn't know anything? That's what we're here for.
But whether Mother Russia has a use for him in peacetime is another matter.
После службы родине на Северном Кавказе.
After serving in the North Caucasus, it's very difficult to find work. To start with, they employ you, but then when they find out you've served, they say you're not suitable. That happened to me, so I know. Because I was in combat in the North Caucasus, people say I'm psychologically disturbed. But I don't care if they think I'm mad.
Блок.
When we arrived in Chechnya, I saw Grozny in ruins. It looked like Stalingrad. It made me sad to see that that kind of thing goes on in our day and age, in peacetime. So I started to write songs about war.
Valiera has come to visit another veteran friend. They like listening to music and watching videos of their time in Chechnya. But they also have a creative channel for dealing with their war experience.
Но где же Иисус, где Аллах? Спите там, что ли? А мальчишки в цинковых гробах только из школы. Матерям не объяснить, не утешить юных вдов, а им войны той не забыть. Она их первая любовь.
Thanks to the community of veterans, Valiera is finding a sense of belonging here in Yaroslavl. But after Chechnya, he's finding life hard as a civilian.
Просто там все проще. Здесь жизнь сложнее.
At war, everything is simpler. Here life's more complex. People busy themselves with building their careers. People there might be dishonest, but that's because they're hostile to you. And you are on hostile territory, and you don't mind the deceit. But when you get the same thing here among your own people, it's harder to come to terms with. You don't understand the people around you.
There's always vodka, though. It helps on active service and plays a big part in the veterans' lives afterwards.
Civilians drink the third toast to love, but we, servicemen, drink to fallen comrades. The third toast is drunk in silence, standing up, without chinking glasses, and down in one.
Не увидеться нам, не обняться, как при нашей последней встрече. Лишь цветы на гранитный камень ложатся, да в церквах запаляют свечи.
Vadim has lived with his mother since he came back from Chechnya. His father took to drink and left long ago. They bought this place 2 years ago. But the experience of war still dogs him, and he too turns to alcohol for help.
When someone fights in a war and then comes back to civilian life, he doesn't understand what's going on around him. For the first 18 months, I couldn't sleep at all. You wake up 5 or 6 times every night, you have weird dreams. You keep on thinking about Chechnya. And when you drink, things get worse. We were told we shouldn't drink at all to start with. As soon as you have a drink, you're right back there.
I like what Stalin did with the Chechens. In a single night, he dropped the lot to Kazakhstan, to Siberia, to wherever. Then we had some peace and quiet. But as soon as they crawled back, it all started again. They don't have any industry there at all. They just steal and kidnap. They rob, that's all. The only good Chechen is a dead Chechen. I remember when gypsies started knocking on people's doors around here. People in our neighborhood just kicked them out. Soon it'll be their turn. We'll kick out all the darkies too.
The war in Chechnya was about territory, oil, independence and ideology. But these grand geopolitical justifications don't help the individual veteran readjust to ordinary civilian life. Join me after the break for more.